Hello, welcome back to my channel. I'm Smoked Sammy. Today I'll be reading through some posts on r/AmItheDevil. Am I the villain for putting a stingy restaurant owner in her place? Last weekend, my wife and I took a short trip to another state. We enjoy these short getaways because we can save some money. I'm generally a very frugal person, and this is a fairly cheap way to travel. I noticed that a steakhouse near our hotel was selling $40 vouchers for $20. They could be used for any entree at dinner. I concluded that the voucher would cover pretty much our entire meal and purchased it eagerly. When my wife and I entered the steakhouse on Saturday, it seemed quite slow. There were just 2 other tables occupied with guests. We were quickly seated, and I presented the voucher to the waiter. He brought our menus and gave us a few minutes to decide. That's when I noticed there was a problem. We had been given different menus from the other patrons. Ours were printed on single sheets of paper, while the normal ones were multiple pages. When our waiter returned, I asked him why we had different menus. He told us that customers with vouchers don't get to select from every entree offered because some meals generate more profit than others. Needless to say, I was angry. None of this was disclosed to me when I purchased the voucher, so I asked the waiter to get the owner. When the owner came out, I demanded a full menu like the other guests and told her that our treatment was completely unacceptable. She repeated what the waiter had said and told us quite candidly that the restaurant was in pretty bad financial shape. I could tell she was even tearing up a little. The whole display was ridiculous and a bit pathetic, and I wouldn't be surprised if she was faking the tears just so that I would stop complaining. Oh, I don't like that. I know there are some cases where people do like weaponize their tears to get what they want, but I don't think this is that case. And honestly, I feel like more often than not, people are actually just getting emotional about the situation, and that is just an excuse to be mean to them. I explained that neither of us cared about the finances of the restaurant and that we wanted the full menu. At this point, the owner started to lose her cool a bit and told me, "Sir, I already explained that we can't do that." When she got short with me, I made sure to put her in her place. I really don't like that phrase. I get there are times where people need to be humbled, they need to like tone it down a little bit. But like, I feel like every time somebody says, "Oh, I'm gonna put you in your place," like it's always in a condescending, aggressive way, and it's always unnecessary. I grinned and told her that my wife and I were here on vacation and flew here from several states away, so we came for the discount and would never be repeat customers. I told her that her online voucher campaign would fail because she was a terrible businesswoman who couldn't even fill a steakhouse on a Saturday night, and I told her that her dirty tricks would almost certainly cause her business to fold within the next 6 months. The owner got really red and quickly excused herself. We ate a great meal, paid, and left, but my wife has been distant with me ever since. When we were leaving the restaurant, she told me that I had embarrassed her by making a scene, but the only one who made a scene was the scam artist owner. I guess my wife wants me to apologize to her, but I was fighting for both of us in that restaurant. So if anything, she should be thanking me. Oh, and he's so convinced he's right. Ugh. I'm getting really tired of her childish games, and she seems to be outraged at the drop of a hat these days. I'm feeling really defeated. Am I the villain? Yes, you are the villain. You're a dick. Just a raging dick. I want to see a picture of this voucher because I bet if you look close enough, it would probably say like on select items, because that's usually how vouchers work. And this dude sucks. I would cry too. I feel so bad for the owner. Am I the villain for making my guy friend leave immediately? I have a long-term guy friend that I used to date, but it didn't work out, so I asked if we could remain friends and he said yes. So for the past couple months, we have been friends but platonic and just having casual conversations. Then I guess we started having mixed feelings for each other again and started opening up. But I really don't care if he was seeing someone. Did you communicate that though? And since we are living in different states right now, we decided that we would sometimes visit each other. In October last year, we talked about how my birthday was coming up in January, and I asked him to visit me and have dinner together and go out to a concert as friends. From the period between November to early January, I was already seeing someone new, and I did give him a hint via text that I kind of have a boyfriend now. What do you mean a hint? January came, he visited me for my birthday, I hung out with my guy friend and my other friends for a short period of time on my birthday, and obviously my boyfriend would want me to have my birthday dinner with him. But I didn't tell guy friend this because I didn't want to hurt his feelings. Okay, it sounds like this person's really stringing this guy along, because what do you mean hint? And what do you mean I didn't want to hurt his feelings? Like, you don't think he's going to find out when he comes over and then you're not spending your dinner with him or going to the concert with him? You're just prolonging this and dragging it along, and for what? My guy friend eventually realized what was going on and got upset and immediately booked the next earliest flight back home. Am I the villain? I'm confused because I already told him we were just friends, and I also feel really bad because he's a busy medical student and flew all the way across the country to celebrate my birthday with me. Yeah, just be honest. Why? If you were so certain you were just friends, there was no reason for you to not tell him something because you didn't want to hurt his feelings. Like, you knew what you were doing. I tried to help my girlfriend's estranged brother, and it was a mistake. I don't know what to do now, honestly. My girlfriend and I have been together for a year and a half. I want to marry her. I was planning on proposing to her soon, but I have made a mistake. When we met, I didn't know my girlfriend has a brother that she no longer speaks to. I found out that her brother has had issues with drug use, and the last she knew, he had been homeless and unemployed. This was shocking to me. I would never let a family member, especially a brother, be homeless. In my family, we help each other out no matter what. It wouldn't matter if someone uses drugs or even if they treat us badly. I was raised to always help your family, your blood, no matter what. It was shocking and appalling to me that my girlfriend didn't feel the same way. This caused arguments early in our relationship. However, I eventually let it go for now because I had an idea about helping her brother. This is starting off peachy. 6 months ago, I began looking for my girlfriend's brother. I purposely didn't tell her, okay? We're lying. She had told me that the last she knew he was in Canberra, however, he was not there. I had to hire an investigator, and it took nearly 3 months for her brother to be located. I brought him here once he was located and told him I would help. That's a lot. You hired an investigator. This has been 3 months of lying or withholding information. I wanted to show my girlfriend that she was wrong. Do you know this guy more than you think your girlfriend does? It kind of sounds like it because this is a lot of work for someone you don't know. Instead of just listening to your girlfriend and being like, yeah, he probably wasn't a good person. You're doing all this stuff. Oh, I'm just gonna keep reading. When I found her brother, I rented him a small flat and found him a job. I had been working extra hours to afford the flat. Although my girlfriend and I shared expenses equally, we have not combined our finances. I was able to rent the flat for him, and I helped him find unemployment and set up a bank account for him. I also encouraged to stop using drugs and seek counseling. For his part, he told me he wanted to stop taking drugs and was grateful for me giving him a chance after his family gave up on him. See, this all sounds very nice, but it also gives me the feeling that this person is just trying really hard to just be a hero. For no other reason than he wants to feel good about himself. I admit, I know it was a mistake. He had been terminated from his job for theft of money and other items, and there is a police investigation. Moreover, he has committed bank fraud using the account I opened for him and has opened a credit card in my name without my knowledge. The ADP is investigating him using and selling drugs out of the flat, and I'm under investigation because the flat and bank account are both in my name. There was also a potential overdose in the flat. I was advised to hire a solicitor because I will likely be facing criminal charges even though I had no knowledge of her brother's actions. My girlfriend's brother is nowhere to be found now. My job is in jeopardy and my girlfriend ended the relationship last week after she found everything out. You know, I bet if you talked to your girlfriend and asked for more information about why her brother was estranged, she would tell you a lot of similar things happened to her own family and herself. Because sometimes people just can't be helped. We were together for 18 months and had lived together for 6 months. I wanted to propose and marry her. I now admit she was right and I was short-sighted in trying to help her brother. I realized I made a mistake, but she was so angry at me. I know I deserve the anger and should have listened to her about his drug use and criminal record and why no one in her family speaks to him. I don't even care about the other problems as much as her leaving. I didn't know what he was doing, however, I've been pulled into it. I made a mistake and I realized that my own family's way of helping no matter what is wrong. I don't even know what to do now. Thank you for reading. Okay, yeah. So there are a lot of families where, yeah, you do help each other no matter what. And that's awesome. That's great. I am so happy that whoever has those families because there are a lot of families that aren't like that. And you can't always equate how things work in your family and your family dynamic with how things work in other people's families because a lot of people actually suck. And whether you're related to them or not, doesn't matter. If they're abusing you, betraying you, constantly hurting you, you have every right to leave them out of your life. And if somebody else comes in and tries to bring them back, like, they need to go too. So I don't blame the girlfriend. at all. Not only did he bring back this sore spot in her life, into her life, but he also refused to listen to her, didn't take her seriously, and lied to her for months. My girlfriend told me she hates sharing her interests with me because I always have a mean comment. How do I fix this? Maybe you could start by not having a mean comment. We've been together for about 1.5 years. I love this girl and have been planning on asking her to marry me within the next year. So her saying this was a shocker for me. She has a lot of hobbies I'm always nice about, like knitting. She's made me hats and scarves that I love and show off to people, so she should know that I'm proud of her. Unfortunately, she tends to get stuck on thinking in negatives. So for the things I am less interested in, I think she has misinterpreted me and made everything worse in her head. She has a huge aversion to playing music when I'm around, even though she loves it. If we're on the phone, she'll have it playing from a different room so I can barely hear it. And if we're together, she seems visibly stressed if I tell her she can play her songs and will skip around a bunch or turn them off as soon as I make even a mildly teasing comment. So why do you keep making teasing comments? You're obviously making her uncomfortable and anxious, so just stop. Just don't do it. I tell her I'm just trying to engage with it, and she tells me she understands, but she really doesn't want commentary on her tastes. I'm disappointed because she has a beautiful voice and won't sing for me at all anymore. I've asked her multiple times and told her she could even sing songs by artists that I don't care for, and she just shakes her head. She was also into a series of books early in our relationship, and was always excited to tell me what had happened in the latest. They are romance, so not really my thing, and looking back, I realized after I made fun of her for a few times, she either stopped reading the series entirely or stopped telling me. I recently asked her what happened in them, and she just shrugged and said she didn't remember. This came up because we were at a party for my work, and one of my coworkers mentioned he was reading the books with his wife. My girlfriend was smiling so much and engaging with both of them about the series. I mentioned it after, and she said she thought it was so sweet that they could share that, and I told her romance just wasn't my thing, and I would probably pick apart world flaws. She said she knew that, and she hadn't asked me to. You sound like such a dick, dude, and it makes me so sad when someone's so excited to share something, and then they're just shot down by negativity, to where they just completely are unable to talk about it anymore with that person because they were so negative about it. See, even when he brings it up again, like, oh, they were talking about that series you liked and you were enjoying talking about it, he immediately followed it up with, yeah, I would probably just pick it apart and it's not my thing. Like, why even start the conversation just to bring it back down again? Finally, the other day we were playing a game together and she warned me beforehand that it was something she wouldn't be good at, but she was excited to play with me. In my opinion, there's no way to play it wrong. But I will admit that I got short with her for struggling with some of the mechanics. She does play games, but this one isn't her usual, so I get now why it was unreasonable of me to expect her to get it first try. She turned off her laptop and told me I always have a mean comment for her stuff, and even when she's doing something that's more for me, she still gets lectured. She isn't playing anything with me since, and she's been in her house all week instead of visiting. Geez, I wonder why. I know I was wrong for it, and I'm planning on visiting her and giving her a full apology in person, but I also want her to understand that I'm usually just joking, and nothing she's taking as serious is that serious. I think our relationship would be a lot easier if she could just let this stuff go and understand that my commentary isn't meant to ruin her day or discourage her. She's sensitive, and I get that. She's had a hard life. However, I grew up differently, and this is a part of my personality that I would find hard to change. How hard is it to just stop talking? To just not say anything? You're asking her to make a bigger change within herself than you can do by not saying things. I don't know. If you keep shutting down somebody, like, how can you expect them to want to talk to you again about those things? How can I gently put this to her that I love her even if I'm not always crazy about the stuff she likes? I also feel like he's definitely downplaying the meanness of his comments. Because all I can see is that she tried, she was excited, and whatever he was saying was so, like, harsh to the point where she is too afraid to try anything now with him because everything is mean and lecturing. She's disengaging and she's withdrawing. She also, like, totally knows every time that you're going to make a mean comment because she started the game off with, I don't know how to play this, I'm not going to be very good at it, please don't be mean to me, and you're still mean. You bring up the book thing, and all she says is, I know, that's why I didn't ask you to. So, I don't know. I think you're a douchebag, and you need to actually try to fix the attitude that you have instead of just expecting her to always put aside her feelings. I don't know. I don't like this dude. I guess I don't like any of the people that were in this video because this was r/AmItheDevil and they all kind of suck, but yeah. Alrighty, well, that's all for today. I'll be back tomorrow with another video. If there are any subreddits that you want me to go over, let me know in the comments. If you like this video, leave a like, subscribe, do all that good stuff. It would make me really happy. Alright, bye!